strapping. Feel the hum in your hands. This is 4D. Heat on my palms, grip locked, heart racing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hat pulled low and blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I break, when I bang through the lane. 4D on my skin, when I lose, when I win, I'm alive in the light of the game I'm in. 4D, 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 it's different.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 3 of Season 9 of the longest continuously running DW12 series on iRacing today. It's the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear, coming to you tonight from Iowa Speedway for the 7th running of the Dark Horse Iowa 200. We are gritting up right now, getting ready to go qualifying. We'll get you in tonight's starting lineup, but joining me as always in the booth is Andrew Wood. Andrew, go right ahead. It's good to have you here. It's a doubleheader Sunday for us.
Yeah, quite a long day there, Gary, and we're here in Iowa, and night racing Iowa is always really, really fun to watch and fun to call. There's so many different things that can happen here, but we're about to get underway here shortly.
And the first one that's happening to us right now is, trading paints is not working, and we've tried everything that I've been able to do in the short time to get trading paints to work. So we are working off generic iRacing paint schemes. So this ought to make everything and car identification a little difficult. But here is tonight's starting lineup. And then we see Peterson and Wagner, Murphy and Santos, Glindy and Kirkenbauer. And then we have the senior Kirkenbauer and T. Densdale and Hayes, your top 10. Very small field here tonight. Lovern and Greenlee, Gallus, Highsong, and Morales. Only 15 cars showing up for tonight's 200-lap event.
Yeah, a little bit of a small grid tonight. There may be some other stuff happening in real life for everyone else, but we love to see the drivers that show up here to the Dark Horse Series. We have talked frequently about the current record going on, Gary. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we had the last 12 races. We've had 12 different winners here in the Dark Horse Series. So 11 races. This is now race number 12. Can we see 12 for 12? We're 11 for 11. Can we see 12 for 12? That's going back to May of last year. Well, we'll see. We are about half a turn away from starting tonight's campaign, 200 laps at Iowa, and a big run by somebody on the outside. I don't know who that was. Again, we can't tell with a lot of these paints, but it's Murphy, second to Peterson and Wags.
Yeah, that was actually Jeff Highsong jumping up there on the high side, passing several cars at the start of the race. Jeff not really with the best qualifying effort, but I believe he picked up 3 spots there. Let's see, when he crosses the line, actually he picked up 6 spots on lap 1 there.
And he is our points leader, and we will show you the points here momentarily.
One of the big things about Iowa that we love to see with these cars is the various lines that drivers want to take. The low line works briefly, but then once the tires really start to come in, it really is tough to make passes down there. So you'll see a lot of these drivers diving to the bottom early to try and make the pass. And as the run goes on, the bottom line becomes more of the dirty air line. So it's going to be very interesting to see if drivers can make that low line work and then not push up to the car that's on their outside.
It's Murph, Peterson, Glindy, Wags, and Indy Kirkenbauer, the prodigy. So, yeah, checking in chat. Is Trading Paints down? It's not working for me. It is working for Andrew. Andrew has it working for him. So I've done everything to my computer except do a restart. I've noticed that there were no new paints populating into the Dallara DW12 directory in iRacing. So I'm not sure what the deal is on my system. But because I have so many drives and so much memory in my system, and we only had, when we started having the problem, it was only about 10 minutes prior to the start. I didn't feel like doing a restart because my restarts are always so long because I have so much resources on my machine that I really didn't want to risk missing the start of the race just to fix paint. So Murph slides up. So we're just going to go with default paints and see if we can get it to roll.
Eric Peterson almost got collected there by Murph right there, and then on the bottom, Peterson also got a little
caution
flame right there. Back in the field, we got Charles T that's running slow out of turn 2 right now. Not really sure what the incident was, but we'll have a look.
Teed with the meatball flag and spinning again. And we'll see with Teed. He's racing side by side with 38. That's Brian Greenlee. And then the 34 slides under him. That's Gary Lovern. And he just kind of loses it on his own on the outside, all by himself.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a bump out there where the tunnel is coming under the track. And that's a part of the track at Iowa all these drivers really look out for, especially getting a little bit loose and a little bit mangy out there. And once the tires start to really set in, it becomes a bit of a problem. It was starting to get pretty hectic there, Gary, at the front. We saw Murphy and Peterson went side by side for sure, and then Clendy came, really tried to get himself underneath Peterson. Clendy's going to actually dive to the pitch right now.
He's going to go off script and try to do something a little bit different here.
We actually have several cars that have decided to take their pit stop now. Everyone but I believe 4 cars stayed out.
Yeah, so you're right. A lot of
very interesting for the first 10 laps of an Iowa race to have most of the field dive in here. I don't think we have any tire limits here, so I guess that's good. But at the same time, you have to wonder, is you just want to have the freshest tires possible, perhaps?
And that might be if you got the fresh tires. I mean, if you got them, use them. I mean, you obviously don't have to worry about a tire bill. So that might be what a lot of these drivers are thinking of. From Clendy on back, everyone went to the pits. So Clendy, Santos, Wags, Greenlee, Hysong, Kirkenbauer. That's Clay Kirkenbauer. Lovern, Gallas, Dinsdale, Hayes, and Teed all went to pit road to get a new set of tires. We're going to go green, I believe, next time by... Nope, lights are still on the pace car.
I think you might say that there was a Clendy Sendy there, as he likes to say. But even so, I'm pretty sure that Clemmer did not expect to bring the whole field with him. Maybe 6, 7 drivers or something like that. But no, the entire field decided to pit right behind him.
So the top 4 stay out for track position. And I'm not sure. Actually, I think Joseph Morales might be coming down pit road right now.
Yeah, he was at the back, and I think he decided to stay out. But then he said, you know what? I was at the back anyway. Let me just come in and get some fresh tires as well. So it's really going to be the top 3 that did not pit there. But Clemworth was in 3rd initially. So that's going to put Indy Kirkenbauer up there. I think he only picked up perhaps 2 spots. I believe he was in 6th place before that restart. So actually 3 spots. Laps very, very short here at Iowa, so these caution periods do go by kind of quickly in comparison to a place like Indy, for example, or Pocono.
We are having...
So lights are out.
Yeah, lights are out, and I am having definitely problems on the on my computer. My taskbar is now showing on the bottom, so we are. This is going to be one of those nights, I can tell you right now. And Murph is going to take off with the lead here on the restart at lap 12, coming to 13. Peterson at Kirkenbauer also stayed out. Peterson is the defending champion here. He got his first and only dark horse win here a season ago, and Kirkenbauer in third, but he is under attack by Klindy.
Papa Kirkenbauer also making moves on the start, got by Jeff Haisong for P8, and he's looking for another spot here. This one got a little stuck in the middle there. I think that's Greenlee.
Oh, 3 wide.
Haisong is going to go high, and Greenlee loses 3 positions there in 2 corners. Clay Kirkenbauer definitely feeling that bottom line issue that I was talking about before. He got very, very tight there on the bottom of turn 1 and 2 and pushed up a little bit, and Greenlee gets a spot back. But Haisong is moving his way forward again. He's now past Wags. Wags is going to look underneath Haisong in turn 3 and take the spot back. And Gary Lovern's not so far behind. So we're getting very, very feisty in this middle part of the top 10. And the top 5 have pulled away now. Klindy is going after Eric Peterson, going back to where we went for the start of that last caution there. He's really kind of stalking Peterson high, low, takes the low side now. He's going to get some dirty air from Murph. Peterson's hanging there on the outside. He's going to have the run keeping down the front straightaway there, so Klindy's going to have to get a little bit more clever. Indy Kirkenbauer kind of touches that yellow line on the bottom side, and he's going to lose the 4th spot to Edson.
As we got a bit of a 5-car breakaway up at the front now. Murph, your leader, defending series champion. Peterson in 2nd, Klindy in 3rd, Santos in 4th, Kirkenbauer in 5th.
That bottom line is definitely gone away, Gary. Indy Kirkenbauer has tried to take the bottom line in turn 1 and 2, and I'm not sure if it's a shallow entry that Indy is going for, but he's not able to hold that bottom line, and Clay Kirkenbauer behind him wasn't able to do it either when he was battling with Brian Greenlee. Gary Lovern's under attack right now from Clay Kirkenbauer. He's going to keep it for now. That bottom line is starting to go away, so now we're going to start looking for the middle and the high line and try and make some moves. And if you can get someone to get a little bit of that dirty air up from the car ahead, that's going to be the way you get the spots. But it's so tricky to find the clean air around here. And you can see that when you're in clean air, you take the middle line. But if you're in the dirty air, everyone's kind of staying in that 2nd, 3rd lane around, especially turn 3 and 4. Clay loses more spots, takes the low line again. Gary Lovern and Brian Greenlee get by him. Here comes Shane Dinsdale. Bottom's not going to work there, so Clay is going to get it. But every time you go to that lane 1 right by the yellow line, you just push directly up the track. Still holding the lead quite nicely here with Eric Peterson kind of in his wake. I think he's got Klindy off of his back for now. Perhaps it's about the time where the cars will get into that half a second single file formation where it's very, very hard to make any progress forward. This track is known for that because of all the aero wash that happens around here. I'm watching Klindy take that bottom line. He seems to be doing a decent job at it, but I think especially at turn 1, it feels like you're turning a little bit too early, and when you get down there too early, that's when your car's going to push up. So you have to get around the corner a little bit and sort of make your way down to the yellow line, kind of what Klindy did last lap. This lap he missed it a little bit, but if you're up a little bit higher, you'll hit that bump, which is what happened to Charles.
Oh, and he's in the wall off of 4.
I think he got away with it. I'm not really sure if the Yeah, it was kind of square a little bit, both on the right front and the right rear tires. You get these moments coming out of turn 4, especially where that wall just jumps out and grabs you. It's happened to all of us pretty much. But once you start losing that bottom line, and it's very tough to get down there, the car pushes up quicker and quicker and quicker every time that right front starts to go away.
Again, apologize for the system issues. You should not be seeing my taskbar at the bottom, or you should not be seeing any of these generic paints, but nothing is loading right now. So I don't know what is going on, but my system is begging for a reboot. So we'll try to soldier through this as best we can. Right now, it is Murph leading as Lewis Hayes seems to be falling to the back of the pack for some reason.
Yeah, he's
off on the back
straight away.
And that is a wreck off the backstretch, and he's just going to go ahead and tow. So his night's a bit like mine.
Actually, kind of shocking that he didn't collect Hugo Gallows up ahead of him. He just kind of went right across the front of Hugo Gallows' car. He tows, and we stay green. We're looking probably... So we had the caution on lap 4, and wow, that was close with Brian Greenlee and Jeff Hysong coming out of turn 4 there, and Clay Kirkenbauer picks up there. He's riding.
He's gone all the way to the highest line possible.
And at this point, you're going to say, okay, I'm not really worried about the right front tire anymore. I just want to make it through the corner. And if you stay up there, you're not going to push up into anyone. You're going to try and make some more positions.
Indy slides up in front of Edson Santos and then reintroduces the Brazilian to the Brazilian clear.
Yeah, Clendy has managed to get his way past Eric Peterson now for second place, and now Indy Kirkenbauer is hanging out right behind Peterson as well, trying to make his move, but Edson is hungry right behind him, going for that bottom line there. A lot of dirty air from the two cars ahead for Edson, but Indy is just going to stay planted up there in the third lane and hope that he gets the clean air enough to have the run. I think he has the run now on Peterson. Going to turn 1, just got to make sure you arc it gently. He gets down there early. That's not going to be enough. Peterson's going to grab that spot back.
Here are the points coming into today's race. Jeff Hysong is your points leader. Murph just behind him by 2 points. Peterson just behind Murph. And then we got Stouffer not in the lineup. Indy Kirkenbauer in 5th. Lewis Hayes was looking to try to ascend well into the points at the end of the day, but he's going to have an early out, or at least has to exercise that fast repair. There is one fast repair, so he will be back on the racetrack momentarily, but down well in the order. He is 6th. Casey Povolonis not in the lineup. 7th. A.J. Hobson in 8th there, and not in the lineup tonight. Yari not in the lineup tonight in 9th. And Mark Amini in 10th, also not in the lineup. So a number of drivers opting not to show up tonight here at Iowa for whatever reason. It is the opening day of the IndyCar season, so a lot of people might have been out with friends and whatnot. Wrapping it up here tonight, Sunday evening here at Iowa.
Clendy is closing that gap on Murph a little bit. I think Murph has a stranglehold, just kind of running that middle lane there. He's not really going high or low, just taking whatever line is necessary to make it around the corner. Clendy's trying low every lap, but he keeps pushing up and losing a lot of that speed on the exit of the corner. So this battle will continue, and if there's a way that Clendy can maybe sneak away a 10th here, a 10th there, it would be very helpful. But I believe Murph has the way about it right now, just kind of stealing that second lane all around the track.
Yeah, and the track position seems to be the key here for Murph. Now, with that early caution, what are we thinking about? And I didn't double check. Again, I was checking everything, all my system stuff. They're not always at 100% fuel tanks in these races. I did not check what their fuel capacity was for the rule set coming in. I do know there are no tire limits. You can throw as many set of tires on as you want. But depending on what the rule set is for tonight for fuel, what are we thinking for stops I don't think we'll be able to do a one-stop strategy unless there's a lot of caution. And with the small field, I don't think we're going to get very much caution tonight. We might be looking more at a two-stop strategy, pitting here in about 20 laps or so for the first stop, and then kind of right around the mid-130s for the next stop to bring you home. But you could probably better tell me by looking at the rules for tonight what the fuel capacity is. If it's not at 100%, then they're going to be stopping sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Iowa is definitely not one of those tracks that's bound by fuel. It's bound by tires. It's whenever you feel like you can't handle that tire anymore. The tire wear is definitely quite high here in such a way that if you pit, you could be up to 2 seconds faster a lap if you get new tires. So it's not going to be a matter of running the fuel tanks out completely. I imagine the fuel run here would probably be in the 65 to 70 range, and you could easily do that on 3 stops there. So because we had that early caution, Murph and Peterson and Clendy are definitely going to be the first 3 to jump down pit lane. So that'll give us the first indication of when they can't quite handle it anymore. We have Peterson, we have Clendy, and we have Murph still running top 3 right now, but the drivers with the newer tires by 4 laps or so are starting to close down on them. So I think that they will come down first, and I would predict somewhere around the 65 areas when we'll start to see them.
Clendy is the first of those drivers that pitted at lap 10, and then it's Wags. There is Wags in the Pimax car. And here comes Eric Peterson, pit road, off of turn number 3.
Yep, so it is bound by the tires. Peterson has said, you know what, I can't turn this car anymore. I'm coming down pit lane. So I imagine that other drivers will follow suit. Murph may stay out and do the whole 65 laps if he possibly can, as he's had clean air the whole time. But Peterson is going to drag other cars down pit lane, such as Matt Wagner, who's coming down right now.
And again, this is it looks like to me, Peterson is our defending champion here from a season ago. He might be more on the 3-stop strategy, stopping at 50, 100, 150, and going home from there.
We got all the pit stops happening now. Indy Kirkenbauer's coming in next lap. Mark Murphy's in right now. We are going to have a flurry of pit activity coming in the next probably 5 laps or so.
Isong, your points leader on pit road.
Yep, Indy Kirkenbauer's also entered the pits. That leaves Clendy as the leader right now. So Clendy is trying to stick it out a little bit longer. But once the new tires are on Murphy and Peterson's car, they are going to get so much time on Clendy. But Clendy could be going for a fuel save, but he has to make it to at least 68.
Well, remember, Clendy stopped at lap 10 on part of that first caution. So he's going to have he's on a slightly different strategy, but he'll be able to go a little bit further just because of stopping at lap 10. Here's Dinsdale and Lovern. Oh, and Dinsdale blinking out. Oh, Clendy, high exit as he has Murph right behind him. This is to get back on the lead lap, and Murph with those fresh tires. And this is illustrating your point, Andrew, is how much new tires mean. And this is pretty typical with this car. New tires are everything with this car. And Clendy, as soon as he gets past, decides to opt down and go to pit road right now.
So we've now confirmed it's a 3-stopper for everyone, at least a 3-stopper for everyone. Yeah, Iowa is definitely one of those special tracks where you can get so much with new tires that it's not worth it to let the fuel tank run out necessarily. So Greenlee's in, Clay Kirkenbauer's in, and Clendy's in as well.
And Clendy, he only went 10 laps longer than everyone else last time, but under green flag conditions, only lasts 5 laps longer than Murphy when Murphy came to pit road. Came to pit road. And here comes Gary Lovern coming to pit road. He decides he's had enough as well. That will turn the lead over to Dinsdale. But again, we're kind of seeing that as we get further into this race, those that stopped at lap 10, their strategy might actually get equalized by those that stayed out, and we'll be back to square one strategy-wise.
Well, that's exactly the reason why I was questioning why everyone behind Clendy came in for a pit stop. You'd want the track position at a track like Iowa. You only did 8 laps of the race before the caution came out. So I would imagine that some drivers come in, the rest stay out and get the track position. But no, everyone wanted to follow what Clemworth was doing, which is a great strategy when you're up front and you're fast. And everyone's like, oh, I'm going to do what he's doing because he knows something, you know? So it's definitely a very interesting strategy. Indy, Kirkenbauer, and Clendy are going at it right now. In turn 3 and 4, Joseph Morales is on the pit road as well that we see in the background there. Shane Dinsdale pitting also, so no driver is going to try and do a fuel save here. And frankly, doing a fuel save of this track is a little bit of a throwing the dice kind of strategy.
Charles Teed won the first time we raced here back in Season 3. Rick Ravon is a 2-time winner here, won in Season 4 and 5. Craig Forsyth, where is Craig? We're missing him in the lineup. He won in Season 6, Season 7 with Chris Stouffer, and the last season was Eric Peterson. The last 3 trips we've been here have been all 200-lap races, and we're doing that again tonight. Our Season 8 race here a season ago, which was round 4 of Season 8. We had 12 cautions for 28 laps. That was the most cautions we had. And conversely, we might be looking at a very low caution race tonight. We only had the one very early on, but with a small field, there's less opportunities to literally bounce off the cars next to you if there's fewer cars on the racetrack.
Yeah, we always love green flag pit stops there, Gary. So it's really cool to see that we've done our first green flagger. We're already about 30% through the race. So no one was able to do the fuel save situation, but this is definitely such a fast-paced track that was not even a consideration in my opinion. So the big winners of that pit stop for sure, Wagner up in second place now. So he has jumped both Peterson and Clendy, and I believe Indy Kirkenbauer as well.
Yes.
Edson Santos has kind of hung out where he has been most of the race.
Caution.
We talk about caution. There we go.
And Hysong, your points leader on the backstretch. We go back to full speed here and see what happened with him. Oh, and he's with... Oh... And he just gets in contact with Lewis Hayes.
Well, Hysong is going again, so let's take a look at his car. He did have a kind of big whack with the right front there. The right front wing is crumpled for sure.
Well, he'll get he'll exercise a fast repair, but yeah, he just kind of gets he catches. Say, hey, Lewis Hayes, and smacks both ends of the car. So it's definitely going to be fast repair time for everybody, or for him, and everybody now under caution. And interesting enough, I mean, they haven't been out long enough to come to pit road, but do you do it? That will get you, if we say you want to continue to do about 50 laps a stint, this would get you into the 120s. You would still have to do another stop to get home. I don't know. I think you stay out. I think we showed that staying out's the way to go.
Yeah, you could refresh your tires now for sure, but we're not fuel saving with 130 laps to go here. If it was 110, I might say perhaps we'll work on a fuel save, but it's almost like we're back to square one again. We're going to be doing 130 laps, 65. 65 was the starting fuel save number, around 65, 67 or so. And we're not going to be doing that. So we're back to just full racing speed. Everyone slaps on some new tires. I would stay out and have the track position.
Yeah, I think track position has shown the way to go here right now. Yeah. And again,
let's see some more green flag action. But if we're closer to lap 100 or so, then we might see a fuel save going on.
And again, sorry for the technical issues. You saw me trying to refresh the screen and get Trading Paints to work, and Trading Paints is not working at all. So we've even tried to kill it a couple times.
We do what we can, Gary. Electrical and technical glitches get us all the time, but at least you have me to help you out with some of these drivers that are. I can see the driver. Luckily, that's like the first time that's ever happened that I've won a technology battle. So we'll keep going with that right now, and I'll keep you informed of what's going on.
Nope, still keeps drawing in the old ones, or the default ones. So again, apologies. Or try to. Hopefully, it resolves itself. I don't know. I don't think the Trading Paint Services is having any problems tonight. I think it's on my end.
Well, that's just it, right? You'll look up why this won't load, and next time you'll know exactly the buttons to push, the Control Alt Delete to get it going.
I'm pretty sure a reboot will solve it. That that is the solve all, be all, end all of most iRacing problems. Is just do a reboot. But again, my machine is built like a server, and it has so much memory and storage in it that it has a very long. It does a system pre-check right before it boots up, and if it wants to take extra time, it takes extra time. I've seen my system take as long as, even with solid state media and everything, take as long as 15 minutes to say, okay, I'm ready to go. So I didn't want to, with 10 minutes to go, and right before we go green, to all of a sudden try that, and then all of a sudden we're starting a stream five minutes into the race. That is not good. So we wanted to get at least the whole race in. Hey, liveries, they'll be back for next race. And you get to see my my taskbar at the bottom, so you get to see everything I run, which is not much. I do need to get rid of that co-pilot icon down there, because that is the most worthless AI. I never use that, but there you see. There's not a lot going on my system.
Good to know. I will never use co-pilot. Thanks, Peter. Indy Kirkenbauer and Eric Peterson have swap spots. Indy got him in turn 1, and then Eric got him back in turn 3, and the battle continues. Taking the high line, a lot of these drivers are migrating up high now, knowing that that's the way to go, especially if the rubber is starting to be laid down there, and you really can't hang down there for too long, and the speeds kick up. So Indy Kirkenbauer and Eric Peterson go to battle once more. Battle for the lead. Matt Wagner is going to not slide up, and possibly take the position from Mark Murphy, our first lead change of the night.
And so you might be asking, if Murph wins, or who wins here out of this group, as we see just all together. This is Wags, Murph, Clindy, Peterson, Kirkenbauer, and intermixed in that group is Jeff Hysong, your points leader. So everybody in this group right here, this group of 6 cars, has something to play for. Here comes Clindy to the inside of Murph. Oh!
I do not know how that was not an incident, Gary. I saw Clindy coming up the track and thought that was game over. I think Murph straightened the wheel out just a little bit at the exit of turn 4 there and said, you're coming my way, and I'm not doing anything about it. But Murph is not one to give up, so he is going to keep this battle going for at least another corner.
So going back to last season, this is May of 2025. Started that campaign, Eric Schaus won, then John Martins won, then Wags won. So Wags is part of that group of 11. So if Wags wins tonight, the string will end. It might it'll kind of reset a little bit by going back into last season, but it will stop at where Wags won at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Then Peterson, then Luis Gonzalez Nunez, who was watching from home, Chris Stover not in the lineup, Jeff Hysong, who won at Michigan as our points leader, Craig Forsyth not in the lineup, and Chris Albrecht at Indianapolis not in the lineup. Then we started this season with Mark Murphy, who won the season championship a season ago by not winning a single race. He won the opener, and Indy Kirkenbauer won at Charlotte, and now we are here round 3 at Iowa. So really, if Clindy wins, he will continue the run that we will go 12 for 12. If Wagner wins, we will kind of stop the run and kind of reset it to the point that Wagner won. So there's we'll look at that number here in a little bit. But if Wags win, it will stop the big number from reaching 12. Nothing against Wags. I am totally rooting for Wags, though.
Yes. I was going to respond, but I was very, very carefully watching Eric Peterson and Clay Kirkenbauer battle there, and I thought there was going to be an incident, so I was getting ready to call something out there, but they managed to get through that just fine. Eric Peterson has been hemorrhaging spots left and right ever since Indy Kirkenbauer got by him. I can so relate to this, Eric. If you're listening and watching right now, just choosing wrong. You get put in a bad spot and you want to just maintain your momentum, and then you choose wrong the next 3 corners, and you get dirty air, and everybody else around you chooses correctly, and you just start losing spots. And that was one of those short track situations, and unfortunately for him. But I think at the same time, if Eric Peterson can manage to get back and see how the cars ahead are driving, he can potentially get those spots back. It's just going to be very difficult to do so. Jeff Hysong up ahead of him is a lap down, and kind of being a little bit annoying for Eric right now. But at the same time, he is going down to try and get that lap back. I believe is the first car a lap down. So that is a possibility. If everybody ahead of him clears out of the way, pits, the yellow comes out perfectly, he'll get back on the lead lap. Murphy's kind of a cork in the bottle.
3 wide. Kirkenbauer down low. Oh, and almost contact.
This is Peterson's chance, but he's got to clear him because that car is going to push up in the corner as it does there. Peterson gets 2 spots back at least.
So this is behind Murph. This is Santos, Peterson, and Indy Kirkenbauer. Indy is off into the distance right now.
So you see how this behavior goes on these short ovals. Indy Kirkenbauer tried the move on Murph there. Got a little bit swallowed up, and now he has chosen wrong and lost a couple spots and gets all the dirty air as well. Murphy is, I don't know if he's having an issue with his car or something, but the top 2 have pulled completely away from him. I know he didn't pit necessarily, but at the same time, no one's able to pass him, so he's just choosing that middle lane perfectly every time, and no one's able to get that advantage.
Right, he's kind of got the OP line right now. If he can just hold on to that OP line, Santos now gets a nose alongside him, but just cannot pull alongside and pass him on the front straight. But look at that middle line right up against the top end of the lane there. You see him in the dotted line.
Clay Kirkenbauer had quite a whack on the wall there at a turn 2. I think his car's all right. Hit it square, but
I think he's hit a couple times.
Right in front of Brian Greenlee. Brian Greenlee had to kind of lift out of it to make sure he didn't touch that rear wing, but I think Clay Kirkenbauer is able to get away with that one. Edson might have the run now on Murph. He's trying to stay away from him on the front straightaway. If he gets that bottom line, I think the spot's his.
And again, this might also be a good opportunity for these drivers when they come back and watch, as they go, that's my default paint job I use for the DW12. You could probably give your car a better paint job if you want to. We got a lot of ugly default base paints out there.
Yeah, that's what I always say for the race spot broadcast when we have to send in our paints to do those races, and I forget the deadline, and then I see my car there. I'm like, ew, that thing does not look good.
You know, if we keep having more training problems like that, if we keep having more training problems like this, I might have to end up doing that like Race Spot does. Give me your paint. Give me your paint.
It's just more work for you, Gary.
I know. I try to make these easy, but look what's going on. Meanwhile, up front, Wags leads by about a second. He's pulled away from Clindy, and the draft envelope of these cars, you would think, because of how big and beefy they are, extends that far, but the draft envelope of these cars do not go back that far, and he's actually broken the draft at this point.
Yeah, I'm locked in on this Murph situation right now. He is holding all of these cars up for one reason or another. Edson has gotten by and then gotten past again. Murph is not wavering off that third lane, though, that 2.5 third lane. Keeping Edson right behind him the whole entire time. Edson has cleared him, but then has not had the drive off that is necessary there. But you're going to have to upset Murph off that line in order to make that pass happen. but you can see the whole line of cars that are behind them. There's about 7 cars all within striking distance of the podium here.
If you're enjoying our coverage, despite the bad paint jobs of the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear, and respect the stream, please do us all. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. Tonight's Iowa 200 and Dark Horse Racing Series is presented to you by 4D Racewear. As Edson Santos goes to the inside, check out 4D's line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com. And also now you can buy your race awards and championship rings for your own leagues from 4D. To learn more, go to 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the description.
Bundy has made his pit stop, so I imagine we're going to start the pit stop rotation here very soon. We are getting into that realm where it's time to do our second stop. Murph is calling his way in right now, so Murph will pit this lap. Let's see if anybody else comes with him. No, I think it's going to be 1 at a time here, maybe 2 at a time, but that's going to unlock this whole entire group of cars that were following him. Right now, if I were Jeff Hysong, I would stay out as long as I humanly can possible. I hope that a caution comes out, because he will just get on the lead lap by default by staying out. So if that were my situation, and that's what I would be doing. But yeah, we're going to be seeing pretty much most of these top guys coming in here very soon.
We'll back up to the point, and we'll see if Wags, who keeps it off of pit road again this time by. He last pitted on lap 72. He's 37 into his stint. Edson Santos, 37 into his stint. It's suspected they'll be coming to pit road about any time here. And then the window to get to the end is going to be right around lap 150, give or take, somewhere in there. If
right,
you are,
the longer you go, you could.
Right.
If you want to do like a 45 lapper, wait till lap 115 or so. You wait till 160 and then do a 45 and a 40. That's a good strategy that I would probably try and do.
Yep,
if any of you drivers are listening, listen to Andrew Wood, who doesn't win races very often.
You've done pretty well in the DW12s. You won a Lionheart Speedway Series 500 in this, didn't you?
Not sure how, but yes, you are correct.
You got the checkered flag. That's all that matters. If you are just joining us, this is P1's broadcasting coverage of the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear, coming to you from Iowa Speedway for the 7th running of the Dark Horse Iowa 200. We've now completed 113 of 200 laps. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. The next race for us here on P1 will be our open wheel doubleheader as Wags comes to pit road right now. Is our Monday night open wheel doubleheader with Murph and Jacob Collins at 7 p.m. with the iRacing IndyCar Open Series. Monday night top split immediately followed by Jacob again and Sophie Connell with the Indy Next Road Series top split at 8:30. If you like open wheel racing, then make P1 your home on Monday nights every week for 2026. Don't miss it. Next to last stop here for Matt Wagner on pit road.
As well as the Kirkenbauer household is coming down pit lane. Locke lead follow coming down pit road. So we are really getting this pit stop rotation going here. I imagine before lap 20 we're going to see everyone.
If any Indy or Clay we saw Clay bounce off a wall a couple of times, and I don't see him using fast repair. So though that's going to do it right there.
Yeah, I thought Indy lost it up ahead of him too, but he caught it. There was a little bit of a slide there with Indy Kirkenbauer. I was on board with him.
And he's trying to get going, and then not to bring out the caution, and he gets too close to that yellow line. That will bring out the caution, as he's going to have to Austin Powers it a little bit there on the apron. But your leader now is Edson Santos.
Boy, oh boy, if I had a nickel for every time I did that Iowa pit exit spin.
Oh, getting off the button?
Very,
yeah.
Difficult because you're at such a heavy turning radius on this short oval here. Richmond's another one that does it to you as well, but you have to kind of slowly migrate yourself to the outside, and if you have any turning radius with the throttle input, you will just automatically spin on the cold tires.
Edson Santos still out front. He is going to go as long as possible, 48 laps into his stint. Joining him up front, Greenlee, Lovern, Gallus. They're all well 40-plus laps into their stints. So they're going to go until the caution comes out or the tank goes dry at this point.
I think 120 is a really good way to go, but they're going to keep pushing it. But all this is doing is opening up opportunities for them later down the line. Yes, they'll drop down the field with the fresher tires, but you're able to measure how your next stint goes and decide if you want to pit early with all the positions that you picked up, or if you want to really, really push it to the end.
Whoa! Sorry, Clindy almost up into the side. Now say, hey, Lewis Hayes. For an idea, because paints are loading pretty well for Lewis Hayes, is maybe the next race he wants to drive the target car because he's had a bit of a target on his car today and almost just avoids getting contact again that time by. Here's a battle, Lovern and Greenlee. Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, I thought Hugo Gallows wanted to pit, but Clendy was there, so I think Gallows has to go one more just automatically because Clendy was on the inside there. That was just bad placement and bad timing, so I think you can expect Gallows to come in this lap.
Yes, good call.
Yeah, he had called his pit in, but he couldn't get down there because Clendy was coming really, really fast.
And again, coming on the pit road, very difficult here, and you've got to be at the pit road speed limit at those cones. So you got to be on the button, slowing down, all the while turning the car. The car does not want to behave very well. That's a 45-mile-per-hour pit road speed limit here. Hey, you want to race? Well, join the Dark Lords Racing Series. The car is free. The league is free. All you need are the tracks and the drive. Click on the Discord link in the description to get started. Hugo Gallas, he's done. Edson Santos coming to pit road.
Coming in, yep. And Greenlee is also coming in. Yeah, Greenlee's last lap was a 17.2, 17.9. Clendy's last lap was a 17.2. So you could just see the difference between those new and old tires there.
Chat says paints are ugly. Yes, they are, because Trading Paints is not loading right now. So we're just kind of rolling with it. The paints may be ugly, but the racing is pretty good on the racetrack, and Edson Santos in one of those ugly liveries. Again, they might want to think about getting on a good base livery just in case this ever happens again. Clindy now picks up the lead.
Yeah, I would take my base livery and paint like a bright red around it, just so I stick out from everyone. That's what I would do for next time. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Jeff Hysong didn't really have the ability to get his lap back there. I love these green flag pit stops, by the way. You know, Iowa is definitely a really, really tough track to pit in and pit out for, as we saw with Clay Kirkenbauer grabbing the wall. But pitting in is just as difficult. Those barrels on the pit in,
yes,
where the attenuator is,
yes,
it is so easy to just like kind of a homing missile as you enter the pit, just go straight into them. So you have to kind of really turn and keep turning until you hit the pit limiter line, and that's such a hard thing to do. So really good heads up to these drivers for having great pit stops thus far and not causing any incidents on the pit in or the pit out. That has brought out a caution.
Lindy, your leader, and if he gets the win tonight, we extend the 12-race different winner streak. And this is a favorite track of his, and he has himself a 2.5 lead over Wags. Wags won a season ago at Gateway. But Glindy, believe it or not, the Indy Oval Series champion, he's now the reigning Indy Oval Series champion. He's clinched with a race to go. He is looking at his, if he does well here and can hold on to this lead for another 70 laps. And I say that at this point, I don't want to jinx him because we're already facing massive bad luck tonight with all these technical issues, Andrew. But 70 laps here goes by very quickly. If he can get the win here tonight, this will be his first career Dark Horse win.
Yeah, and we're seeing Clendy up front because of his very early pit stop. He was the very first car to come down pit lane. He was up there on 104. Matt Wagner pit on 113. So that just allowed him to run a bunch of really, really fast laps and just eat away at the lead that Wagner had. So now Clendy is kind of putting himself into a very, very small window of when he could pit and still maintain. But I think that also just allows him to run 50 laps and maybe 46 laps at the end of the race where Wagner can maybe decide what the traffic situation is and perhaps do a short stint and a long stint, or a long stint and a short stint, or just break them directly in half. So he has a little bit more options, whereas Clendy has to probably run his tanks a little bit more dry.
And third place, right there, just in front of your points leader, Jeff Hysong, who's had a bit of a rough night. He's back to 11th, and with not very many cautions and not so many cars in the lineup, not a lot of opportunities to pick up some free position with some attrition. But Murph looking to pick back up the points lead with a good run here in third, as he's kind of by himself, even though there's Hysong with him. Hysong not battling for position with Murph, just kind of riding with Murph. And Murph is in the third position. Jeff Peterson is in fourth. He is your defending winner here from a season ago. And remember, that was a thrilling race finish. He held on for all it's worth to get his first career win here. And Indy Kirkenbauer has faded back to fifth. That is your top five. Santos in sixth, Gary Lovern in seventh. Something wrong with Edson Santos, low on the racetrack.
Yeah, actually, he might have had a spin somewhere, but you don't spin and not hit the wall here, so let's take a look.
And to quote Tom Carnegie, Edson is slowing down as he's on pit road.
He managed to touch the wall. Wow, we have to take a look at that one from the lap before, Gary.
All right, we'll take a look and see what happened to Edson Santos.
You're going to have your typical Gary laugh there, I feel.
Oh, yeah. And I think he hit the wall a couple of times. Let's watch. He's going into one. And he gets it down to the bottom. And, apron bad. That sends the car right up. And he smacks the wall. Now, he is forgiven there, but the car is not going to be, let's say, whole at this point. He tries turning down into turns 3 and 4. You can kind of see him. He's already doing a counter steer. He knows the car doesn't feel right, and here comes the back end off of 3 and 4. And now he's going to have to enter pit road and get that car taken a look at for a former winner here and a champion in these cars and other leagues, but not today for Edson Santos. He does come to pit road and has the fast repair executed. But we are just shy now of 50 laps to go. Clendy, your leader by 8/10, as Wag has dug into him just a little bit.
Yeah, Wagner almost got himself into a little bit of a conundrum in turn 3 and 4 last lap with Gary Laverne. Gary was couldn't decide what lane he wanted to take, and then Greenlee came up from behind and hit Laverne. Everyone managed to just hit everyone square, so I think everyone's okay. But that was not really a good situation.
This is a battle for 6.
Himself in there.
This is a battle for 6 right here between Lovern and, Greenlee slides up. Lovern just has a squeeze along the high side, and he makes it out. Greenlee rolls out of it, and will have to reassume a battle for position. These are the first 2 cars, 1 lap down, only the top 5 in the order on the lead lap.
Wagner is starting to slow down just a little bit, and Lovern is ready to pounce there on that's, I think, what Lovern was trying to do last time, but he just couldn't decide what lane he wanted to be, and Lovern washes up the track a little bit. Wagner's there. Clendy is just ahead of them, so Wagner is putting in the laps at just what he needs, but perhaps maybe Lovern just needs to get ahead right now to track down Clendy as well. But all this is doing is just losing time for Wagner to catch up.
Whoa.
And Lovern just has
and here comes Wags. Wags says he's had enough, and he's going to come to pit road right at 50 to go, and he's going to try to attempt the undercut. This is not a bad move at all. Not a bad move and not a bad call, considering all the traffic around him, Andrew.
Well, yeah, I was mentioning before that Wagner had opportunities. He could go long, go short, and split it in half, but now he's really done a very short stint of only 36 laps or so, and he's going to have to run the whole 50 laps to the end of the race, or even cut something in half for the next stint, and he's also putting himself
Clindy.
a lap down.
Clindy's not even going to allow him to answer. Clindy comes to pit road right away.
I'm scratching my head at this one.
Murph.
I'm not on the track, so I really can't say one way or the other. But I would have thought that you want to go to at least 160 or 165 on this. But I understand Wagner's situation because he has faster cars ahead or behind him that were trying to get by him and possibly disrupt his progress. But
Eric Peterson, pit road. So everyone's blinking. Everyone is blinking now as they see other people coming to pit road, and they are not going to be the victim of the undercut. Although Kirkenbauer, Indy Kirkenbauer, the prodigy, is staying out. But nope, I say that, and he makes the turn off of 2, down to the bottom of the apron onto turns 3 and 4, and he comes to pit road.
Wagner has just passed Clenworth on the track, so Wagner now has the advantage, and we'll have to see how this plays out. I don't know. Are they going to do 50 laps? We haven't seen them do 50 laps yet. They've done 43, I think, was the very first stint, so I'd like to see how this one plays out. At this point, if I were the leaders, I would just be driving very slow and preserving tire life because it might come back to help you later on, or they're just going to pit again and do a splash at the end.
So the last stint, and I don't have everybody's stint information, but the last stint, Lover, Greenlee, Gallus, and Lewis Hayes each did 50-plus on their stint. And Lovern is your leader. And he is 30 laps into his stint. He's going to have to pit probably at least another 20 laps if he matches what he did in his previous stint.
Oh, Clemmer touched the yellow line and somehow saved it. I do not understand how that happened. I thought that was our caution right there, but Clendy keeps pushing it. Greenlee was kind of right there, but yeah, no, you were mentioning that the cars to the 50 plus. There was a little bit of caution with that one. That was the caution with Haisong. But at the same time, you're right. There are cars. I know they can do 50 laps, but do they really want to put themselves in a spot where they need to
big grab.
do the whole green flag 50 lap stop?
That was a big grab of the apron. A very generous piece of it, actually. Glindy is caught now. Wags.
Yes, he took the spot out of turn 4. Wagner takes it back in turn 2. Will Clendy go back in turn 3? Yes, he will.
And again, you're just using
We're
your
doing
driving.
Iowa swap drafting.
Yeah, look at that. And you're just using your driving ability here. No and fixed setup races for the DW12. Unlike the IR18, there are no tools available to you in the car. It is your left foot, your right foot, your left hand, and your right hand is really what those are your tools right there.
I've never seen Iowa swap drafting before, but this is what I think the closest thing to it would be. Go low, go low, go low, go low, and then do it the next 6 laps in a row, I suppose.
I do remember in the Lionheart series when they came to Iowa, they had a very high downforce package. And I know in practice a lot of us were doing swap drafting, and it ended up turning into a pack race, but it also ended up turning into a caution fest to the point that I started that race shotgun on the field because I didn't like the way that everyone was racing. And I was also racing in VR, and because everything is so quick here, the frame rates and everything, it just wasn't right in my VR headset. And I was just so afraid that I would lose frame rate at the wrong time, so I just started at the back of the field. And I ended up getting a top 10 of the thing just because of the number of cautions and all the incidents. I just worked my way into a top 10, and I think I started like 30th. So you can do swap drafting here. What's that?
I was a caution.
I know a number of cautions in that race. Meanwhile, up front, Gary Lovern still the leader. Ryan Greenlee is second. Hugo Gall is third. Again, they all went super long on their last stint, so I believe they're going to do it again, but they all have to stop again. Even if they get some caution to maybe help them out, they're still not going to make it to the end without another stop.
Gallus comes in. Yeah, it's going to be within the next 5 laps. You're going to see all the rest of them come in. I believe that's Greenlee. Oh, sorry, Edson. Edson Santos is coming in.
And again, apologize for the technical issues with the bad paint, and you get to see my taskbar and all that stuff. We'll get that resolved for the next race.
And that's going to be it for Gary. Gary's coming in, so he's relinquishing the lead right now. So we're going to send the lead right back. Well, it's going to be Greenlee temporarily, but Greenlee's going to be pitting within a lap or 2 here. But this is very, very interesting. If a caution were to come out in the next 5 laps, Lovern and Greenlee are going to have the freshest tires once Greenlee comes in. So everyone's going to pit, and it will send those 2 drivers right to the front. I think Gary's going to come out on the lead lap, if not the very tail end, but that would be very easily absorbed there.
Yeah, he is actually showing a lap down right now. He's on the same lap as Kirkenbauer and Peterson, as he's trying to bring his car very gingerly up to speed on that apron. Do not blame him at all. Greenlee still out there. Clindy now in second.
Gary's got a lap and a half down. He's a lap and a half down now.
And I think Greenlee, I mean, he's got nothing to lose at this point. Get some TV time. Unfortunately, it's not getting it in the livery he probably wants to get the TV time in, but he's getting some TV time. And might as well just stay out and roll the dice, let her go as long as possible. Clindy will pick up the lead, as now Clindy is pulled away from Wags, and he will inherit the lead once Greenlee comes to pit road. Wags trying to get around, that's Hugo Gallas. Oh, Gallus just getting caught up there in another identical car. That's Densdale. Densdale's not had a great day. He's back in 12th right now. 15 cars started the race. Greenlee on pit road. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is P1's broadcasting coverage of round 3 of 9 of season 9 of the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear, coming to you from Iowa Speedway for the 7th running of the Dark Horse Iowa 200. We're currently this guy. Oh, sorry, we're watching Greenlee going sideways on pit road, but this guy leads Clindy, and he's looking to extend the consecutive streak of different winners in different races to 12 if he can hold off Matt Wagner over the next 23 laps. The next Dark Horse race for us will be Sunday, March 15th, with the teams and drivers head to Michigan International Speedway for round 4 of season 9 for the 9th running of the Dark Horse Michigan 240. And our second leg of the Dark Horse Grand Slam. If this race is anything like it was for race 1 at Michigan's sister track, Auto Club in Fontana, then you don't want to miss it when we return to the high banks in 2 weeks. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, 2 Sundays from now at Michigan.
Oh, I think Lewis Hay, or there's a car that hit the wall on the pit out that towed.
And he is done. He is going to go ahead and retire the car.
Yeah, it was Lewis Hayes.
Clindy, 20 to go, leads by 7/10 over Wags. Murph is in third by 6 seconds behind this battle. And Indy Kirkenbauer, the prodigy.
Yeah, he and Eric Peterson just had contact.
Peterson spinning out on the bottom of the racetrack. This will bring out the caution. And we are cautioned with less than 20 to go. Our defending winner here spins and exits off of 2. Spins off the exit of 2.
Yeah, that all started with the contact that Indy Kirkenbauer and Peterson had.
Kirkenbauer, a little bit of net code. And Peterson's going to spin out on the front stretch. And by this point, those tires are very hot and angry. He's trying to go slow. He might also have some damage on the car that we don't see, and he tries to bring this car back up to speed. And as he turns, The back end just comes around again, not with all the downforce and physics helping him out. And there he goes again, and that's going to bring out the caution. And now we have an interesting game that we're going to play here. Who's going to come to pit road? And Clindy not playing the game. He's going to come to pit road. He knows that, and we've talked about this before a number of times, Andrew. I saw this. And Clindy actually called a number of these races with me in the Velocity Online Racing series, their iconic series, which was their DW12 series. OP of fresh tires in these cars at the end of the race is the way to go. Clindy coming to pit road. He's going to put on a new set of tires, and he does not want to be caught out there, even with track position, with old tires versus everyone else, as he's down and away, as he moves and is going to continue holding the lead off of pit road.
I'm trying to actually see if this helps Gary and Greenlee at all, but I don't think so. I think they're going to have to wave around. Gary got a lucky dog, I believe. So I think Gary's going to be with them. He's going to come in and get tires, obviously. But yeah, that was definitely the right move. Don't put the fate in someone else, Sam. Put the fate in your hands. If you have the freshest tires at a track like this, where you see that the strategy is being dictated by your tires and not your fuel, that's definitely the way that you want to go. But we're going to have a nice little 18-lap sprint here to the end of the race, which is going to be pretty exciting as well.
We ride with Clindy as he's trying to burn off a little extra fuel. Probably has more than enough now to get home. He was in the box for 7.7 seconds. Put on those 4 Firestone Firehawk tires. No push to pass, no hybrid in these DW12s. Cars in front of him will get the wave around, and Clindy will be able to control the restart. So, Andrew, we've seen you control the restart late in races before. What is your plan here? If you're in Clindy's shoes, do you just go for it and just give the pace car a big lead and then get a big run, or wait to go at the last moment?
Yeah, I think it depends on who you're racing against, because certain drivers expect you to go early, certain drivers expect you to go late. So the number one thing is don't play around with it. Like, if you're going to commit. Go when you want to go. And I feel like it actually might be more beneficial to go early here, because if you get the pace car to go ahead of you and you get a little bit of a run there, and you really catch the person out for going earlier than even they think that you would, there's no way for them to draft up with you. They're going to be stuck in your dirty air as soon as you get up to speed. So I would probably go early at Iowa.
Lights are out on the pace car. We're going green this time. Bye. Again, I want to thank everybody for sticking.
We're going to have some action.
Yep. Where everyone's on even playing field with tires. I want to thank everybody for watching despite all the technical issues. Thank you very much. We are going to start the week off here with a sprint to the finish at Iowa. It is Clindy, Wags, and Murph. And Clindy wastes no time, and he's back on it now as we are less than 15 to go and a sprint to the end here at Iowa.
Pretty single file situation here. I'm trying to see if there's any real big battles that were brewing, but except for Indy Kirkenbauer and I think that might be Joseph Morales on the inside there, lap car. Not really feisty yet, but let's give it a couple laps and see if anyone really makes up any spots here and brings the battle to the car that's up ahead of them.
It is Clindy, Wags, and now creeping into the picture, Mark Murphy. Wags, Clindy protecting to the bottom. And Wags goes on by. So we'll go back and watch that pass as Wags gets a run down the backstretch. He goes to the inside. Sorry, I saw two teal noses. And Wags goes to the bottom, and he cruises on by Clindy.
There's almost a wreck towards the bottom of the top 10 here with Eric Peterson and Indy Kirkenbauer and Jeff Heisong are all really close together.
Clinty goes to the bottom of the racetrack, and he passes Wags back and gets the lead coming to 9 to go. Oh, using the high side, using the banking, going to the bottom. We're going to drag race off the corner. Wags to the bottom, Clinty to the top. Clinty's going to have all the momentum, but still fresh tires, and Wags slides up the racetrack. Contact coming off the corner. They swap position again. Clinty to the bottom this time. He gets the position. That looks like the low line, at least with these fresher tires at this point in time, is the way to go. But creeping in again, we mentioned it before. Here's Mark Murphy, and he's there.
This is the biggest battle on the racetrack right now, so take it away, Gary. I'm going to keep watching elsewhere.
Three-way battle for the lead in the closing stages in Iowa. Clinty looking to extend the 12 for 12 streak. Wags will end it. He got us win last season at Gateway, and our defending series champion, Mark Murphy, he wants another win this season. He won the opener, and he would like to be the first two-time winner this season. It's been a while since we've had a two-time winner on the schedule for a season, and here comes Wags to the inside. Clinty's going to have the momentum on the high side. 5 to go.
Yes, and Murphy's coming to bring himself to the party as well. Just in the nick of time, he was our guy we were watching at the start of the race here, but he kind of went dormant there. Perhaps had a couple of rough pit stop cycles, but he's back in this now, and now he and Clinty are going for the lead.
4 to go. Closers be closing, and Mark Murphy, the defending series champion, is looking to close here strong. Started up front, led a lot of this early race, part of the race, and he goes to the bottom side. Contact with Clinty coming off the corner. Banging wheels. Clinty goes to the bottom, checks him out. They spin. We're going under caution. No, we're not going under caution. Wags is going to lead. He's going to pick up the lead, and he's going to pick up the win as Clinty and Murph take each other out. And this is going to be an easy victory for Wags. Kirkenbauer is now going to go to the second step. And Gary Lovern is in a battle for the bottom step right now as he's got Brian Greenlee all over his back end as we got cars bouncing off the wall. Wags, white flag this time by.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to that incident. We'll have to watch it together when the race is over here, Gary. I'm not really sure what that was about, but yes, white flag.
And the streak is going to end. Wags gets the win here at Iowa. Kirkenbauer comes home in second. Gary Lovern with a podium finish in third. Brian Greenlee fourth. Peterson in fifth. And what a finish to this race.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to kick off that way. Murph just kind of came shot out of the cannon, had the run on the inside of Clinty there on the bottom, but it all blew up right in front of Wagner. Now Wagner will be the first one to tell you that these are the kind of things that happen to him at the end of the race. So I'm sure him watching it basically had said that, wow, this is actually something that comes in my favor, but that's what racing's all about.
Matt Wagner getting the win. The 12 for 12 streak does not continue. We stop at 11. I'll let you know what the new streak is here in a little bit. Kirkenbauer comes home in second. And this is going to be, look at the points here at this race. This actually might bode well for Kirkenbauer in the point standings. Yeah, he's going to finish ahead of everybody in the top 5 of them, and the top 4 ahead of him. He came into this race at 5th. So he's going to finish ahead. He's going to make up some ground here. So this is going to be good for him. I don't know if he's made up enough to be the points leader. Gary Lovern, 3rd. Another podium finish for Gary in the series. Greenlee, one of his best finishes in the series. Peterson in 5th. Hugo Gallus, 6th. Mark Murphy, 7th. Heisong at 8th, Morales in 9th, Clinty recovers to 10th. And then we got Dinsdale, Lewis Santos, Clay Kirkenbauer, and Charlie Teed rounding out the remainder of your top 15. Going to be interesting to hear talking with Gary Lever. He was, of course, on that super, super long strategy.
Yeah, and he was making up a lot of time on Wagner and Clendy there, but just he had to basically make up a half a lap just to even get next to him. So, very going to be very interesting to ask him some questions as well, Gary. Right?
Again, apologies for the technical issues tonight. That does not, unfortunately, the action on the racetrack was much better than the presentation performance.
I'm sure we'll get that sorted for next go around.
We will get it taken care of. I'm sure it's just a reboot. Why it's just a reboot, I have no flippin' clue. I'm gonna have to research that. That's as the inner IT guy in me. I gotta research this.
Get to the bottom of it.
Yes, we gotta find the root cause. Root cause might be the guy sitting at the keyboard, though. I'm afraid that might be partially the case. All right. Let's get into the interview room here and bring up Gary Lovern. And here he is joining us. Is Gary Lovern. Gary, congratulations and surprise, a podium finish for you, sir.
Yes,
Yeah, of course, you didn't know that was coming until it kind of fell into your lap there right at the bitter end. But look, you had to put yourself in a position to even get to the podium, and you did that by really just being among those that stayed out the absolute longest.
Right. Yeah. I just got great fuel mileage, just trying to run around and save my tires. And yeah, I was handed a gift.
Well, talk about your race other than that. I mean, you were just kind of hitting the mileage, and it looked like you were kind of doing the in the neighborhood of like a 3-stopper, so like 50, 100, 150, then getting to the 200 mark. But you were actually going past the 50 lap mark.
Yeah.
So I mean, talk about your mileage, and apparently, I mean, you were at least. With the mileage, taking it easy on the tires too, because we were talking all race long, and this is Andrew saying this is really most of your pit strategy around this place. The outcome of it is decided by how bad you need to get off these tires, not necessarily how much fuel you're running for the tank. And you must have been taking pretty good care of the tires as well.
Yeah. I learned in that first stint, I wasn't lifting as much, and man, I kind of fried the tires. So the next several stints after that, I lifted pretty good, saved the tires, got great fuel mileage, and it worked out.
Yeah, Gary, I was actually kind of curious to see what if you were going to try and push it and make up the spots just on the track for the rest of the race under green there. Did you think you had enough time to unlap yourself and perhaps put yourself in a spot where, okay, well, I have some decent tires, and if a caution comes out right when I unlap myself, I might be able to make a run for the end there?
Well, to be honest with you, when that last caution and I got my lap back, I was sitting in fifth, and I was like, fifth is good. Let's just hang on to fifth. And I knew Brian Greenlee was behind me coming, so I just concentrated on taking fifth. I would have been much happy with that. Luckily, I got third, so yeah, I was just lifting, saving tires. I knew I was good to go to the end, and like I said, I was given a gift.
Well, a great gift. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who want to say hi to for getting a gift of third tonight.
Yeah. I want to thank all my teammates, great bunch of guys. I love racing with them. And Team Votive, Shane Coker, and all that. And you guys do a wonderful job, man, and I appreciate it.
Got to tell the rest of your team to get in the lineup, man. We could use some extra cars tonight, but it worked out well for you with a P3. Congratulations, Gary. We'll see you in a couple of weeks when we get to the high banks of Michigan.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
Let's bring up the Prodigy. Here we go. And here is Indy Kirkenbauer. And joining us in the booth is the Prodigy, Indy Kirkenbauer. And surprise, a P2 for you in the closing stages here. Talk about your race. It looked like you maybe adjusted your strategy a little bit to kind of save the tires. And at one point, you were kind of falling behind, but that late caution kind of got you back in it and gave you an opportunity to at least get on the podium.
Yeah, I just want to apologize to Eric. That's not okay. I didn't expect it to wash up that much off the corner, and it just went right into him. At least it didn't completely destroy his car. But yeah, that's just not okay to wash up like that. It's the setup's very tight, and I should have expected it, but I didn't. So apologies to him. But yeah, I I just I liked the top early on, and then at the end, I figured out how I could run all of the lanes. The only lane that really didn't work is the very top in 1 and 2 because of the bumps, but 3 and 4 everywhere worked. Um, it's just about um guessing the where the person in front of you is gonna go. So yeah, second for was this the second or third time this week on P1? I don't know, but yeah, yeah, it's just it's it felt like a mini Michigan, like in Fix It this week. At least when I was on new tires. Once I got old tires, it got way different. But it was definitely difficult to pass because obviously, as I proved, go to bottom, you get super tight. Um, but yeah, it's definitely like that top, and second is okay. Really, I really don't deserve to be anywhere in the top 5 after that move. So, um, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't get yourself down too much. These things happen, and Eric was gracious in letting you know that as well. We've all been there. We've all had the push up moments, but I want to talk a little bit about that inside line as well. So on the fresh tires, it seemed like that bottom line really did seem to work out quite nicely, and then everyone slowly migrated to the top. And the top lane is definitely a really good one, especially with that progressive banking. You can get up there and really get a lot of exit speed out of the corner. So talk about how much the aero wash really affect that. Once everyone's up on the top, how do you maintain that, and how do you get that speed off the corner to make the moves?
Yeah, I was just trying to build the momentum on the top from like multiple laps, uh, and then it make the move on the bottom, even though it was really hard. But yeah, it was definitely very difficult to make moves, and I
Yes,
tried.
but I was,
Uh,
I was going to say, especially 1 and 2, if you're a little shallow on the bottom on your turn in, you could really push up big in 1 and 2, especially once you hit those bumps that you were mentioning before. But the bottom in 3 and 4 is much easier if you swing it and kind of arc the corner in and come down low and get the move done there. But it's very difficult to maintain it if you don't clear the car ahead of you exiting the corner as well.
yeah, I liked running the bottom in 1 and 2, uh, and then passing just whenever I got the run. Uh, early in the race, I was more passing in 1 and 2. Then I decided to pass in 3 and 4. I think that was the only second time I've done that, and that's what happened. So just not, yeah, just not good to be doing that. So
Well, it was not a perfect night for any one of us, really. So, Indy, I feel your pain. Congratulations still on getting the P2. Points are updated, so let me just see where we shake out at the end of this thing. Eric Peterson, the host with the most, currently has the most points. He leads the championship. Murphy is second, and you're third, only 5 points back. So you are in this thing, my friend. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who wants to say hi to before we let you go.
Yeah, BG Marine Associates, make something on YouTube, Bayside Heating and Cooling, Taupe Soaps, Votive Racing. Thank you to Eric for putting this on. Sorry again. And yeah, thank you to some of my teammates running this. Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. And I'll see you at the next one from where?
We are going to Michigan next in this series, and if you want me to look at the master calendar, the next time we're on the air again will be Votive next Sunday. I don't know if you'll be on the lineup, but of course I would imagine you'll be on the lineup Tuesday night for Indy Next at Pocono.
Yep, I'll be on the lineup for Indy Open, Indy Next Road, Indy Oval Fixed, and Indy Next Oval on Monday and Tuesday nights. The Indy Open and Indy Next Road being Mondays. The IndyCar Oval Fixed being an Indy Next Oval being Tuesdays for those who are not on P1 as much. So tune into those. Those are always very good races. So yeah.
All right, we'll see you there, Indy. Congratulations on the P2.
Yep, thank you.
And let's bring down Wags. Here he is. And Wags, we've said it before. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. And today the Lord gaveth to you a win at Iowa. Congratulations. You do break the streak. We do not go 12 races with 12 different winners. But we do have actually continue a streak from the basically where you won last season from Gateway, and it starts a new one from there on out. But hey, man, congratulations! You were there at the end, and everything developed in front of you. You steered clear of it, and you got the win.
Yeah, I was really content to just finish third. I was just, kind of happy with third, and I couldn't pass Clindy. As the tire heat builds up into the car, it wasn't the wear, it was the tire heat as it will build up in the car. So it took about say about 12, 13 laps for it to build up, and once that heat builds up, it gets really, really hard to pass. And as soon as I started to get it aggressive, trying to pass Clindy, that heat just took its toll, and I I couldn't pass him. So my buddy Murph was behind him, so he's got cooler tires. I said, by all means, go ahead. And I was, like I said, I was content to run third, and I really didn't expect that to happen. But yeah, I will take the win. I really feel like I didn't deserve it. But a win's a win. You take it any way you can, because these wins are really hard to get. Yeah, I guess I was channeling my inner Scott Dixon there. So
go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, Matt, congrats on the win, but I definitely wanted to ask about your strategy there at the end. You pit on lap 149, 150, so you put yourself in a spot where you had to run 50 laps there under the green flag conditions. And what was your thought there? Because you had pit after Clendy, so you had a little bit better tire life, and you had more options to go a little bit longer and have fresher tires at the end if you wanted, whereas Clendy had to definitely pit by like lap 153 or 154 to make it to the end there. So why did you feel that you needed to jump him there in order to get ahead and run 50 laps under the green flag?
I decided the undercut just to see if it can. I know I had a little bit better pit stop than him last time. He kind of fumbled the first time around, because either that or was he stood out for a very long time and he lost so much time. So I decided to try the undercut, just see if I can beat him and get that track position, and hopefully we would he would be in the traffic and I would be in low clean air. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. And as soon as I came off pit road, there he was, like right dead smack in front of me, and passed him. So passed him, and then he repassed me back, and it was just we were just like kind of swap drafting there. That was kind of fun for a minute there, which was kind of really weird. But I gave up actually because I really didn't want to cook my tires, and I was right from there. I felt like my pace was pretty good. I was noticing my relative. I pulled away from him a little bit, and he didn't have the draft, so I felt pretty good. But toward the end, I think I did not have the pace that he had, because he had much better pace than me this time than the last time. So that kind of failed. So yeah, I didn't execute.
Well, Wags, it's your 80th career start here in the series, your 9th career win. You're still 5th all time here in the series in wins, getting closer to that double-digit number. It's a matter of time. You'll get there. 9 career wins, 40 top 5s, 56 top 10s. The streak now is 9 different winners now in the last 9 races, with you stopping the 12 for 12 march. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go.
Well, I'd like to say hi to Dan Morera in your chat. Hi, Dan. Those are the guys at 40 Racewear. By the way, thank those guys. Without them, this thing would not be possible. And in my league, too. Shout out to Taupe Soaps. All those guys over there make everything possible. My team, Track Rocket, those guys are awesome. Shout out to the Cat. How you doing, Cat? Got another one. Got another W. Shout out to the admins here at Dark Horse. I know they put on I know it's not the biggest group you see here in the DW12, but I've been running here a long time, and it's more like family here, and I'm really pretty excited to just to keep running in this league. And Craig, wherever you are, I hope you get your stuff fixed. I know he's been having problems. I wish he'd hurry up and get back on track. So shout out to him and you guys for the lovely broadcast. And oh yeah, the guys over at Horizon. Hi guys, Victory Lane, we did it.
Well, there you have it. You can't spell Wags without the dub. Dub tonight for Matt. 9th career win. Congrats, Matt, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks when we get to Michigan.
All right, guys. Take care.
I didn't curse you, Matt, either. I heard you there. Say it in the middle of the race.
Hi, Andrew. Love you, brother.
All right. Andrew, interesting night all the way around. Not the perfect night for anybody, really. But we get through it. Wags gets the win. Kirkenbauer comes home second. Gary Lovern, probably the most surprised driver out of all of them, getting the third place podium. Not his first podium in the series. So, again, putting himself in the right place at the right time, and comes home in third. But an exciting finish there with 2 drivers battling for the lead, taking each other out on the coming off of turn 3 and 4 with about 2 to go, and Wags inherits the lead and inherits the win.
Yeah, definitely. That very unexpected kind of finish there. I thought that definitely that Clendy had the upper hand on him, but once Murph got involved, that's where kind of the race went over. But I'm actually, as you're talking, I'm trying to figure out what the current record is. So Matt Wagner won race 3 of last season. He wins race 3 of this season. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's 9 different winners now.
Yeah, we're 9 for the last 9. So we might get a shot to go 10 for the last 10. We'll see at the next race, which is Michigan. But doubleheader for you tonight and today. And thank you for your time. And you, of course, have been spot on perfect. And we'll see you when we do another doubleheader in a couple of Sundays from now. But thanks a lot, Andrew. Appreciate, as always, having you here for the Classic IndyCar Series and Dark Horse on Sundays.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. It's a little bit of a marathon, but we have a great time here at P1. So looking forward to the next one as well.
Let's get on out of here and let everyone continue on with their Sunday nights and start the work week. And I can give my computer a much-needed reboot. I rebooted the thing after CIS. That's the weird thing. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to have to diagnose this thing. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium here from Iowa for the 7th running of the Dark Horse Iowa 200. Matty Wags gets his 9th career win here in Dark Horse. Andy Kirkenbauer comes home in 2nd. He is in the middle of now this championship battle. Gary Lovert gets a career equaling podium and comes home in 3rd. Joined Andrew and myself again on March 15th when the Dark Horse DW12 series presented by 4D Racewear heads to Michigan Speedway. Start time is 8 p.m. Eastern time. Remember, it's an all-new season, and we're going through a time change in that period, so make sure that you stay on top of everything. Just go to youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting for the correct broadcast time in your area. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm of the game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you thought of tonight's race and you enjoyed tonight's coverage. Support us by smashing like in the video. If you do, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including round 2 of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split Special Wednesday edition from Phoenix. As the best open wheel, open setup sim racers on all of iRacing vie for the championship that most closely mirrors the real-world NTT IndyCar Series title. Coverage for the special Wednesday edition starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time right here on P1. I'll be joined by Luis Gonzalez Nunez along with Antonio Estrada in the booth for that. Tonight's Iowa 200 and the Dark Horse Racing Series is presented by 4D Racewear. Check out 4D's line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. And now, race awards and custom championship rings for your own leagues. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com to learn more, or click on the link in today's stream description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or also follow on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram. All our social links are on Linktree. So for Andrew Wood, everyone here with the Dark Horse Racing Series at 4D Racewear, I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all, thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and those above the air in the Middle East right now, and all of our first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here March 15th in Michigan for the next race of the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear right here on P1. Good night, everybody.